everybody. Welcome to Wild Star Healing Temple. And a lot of you guys are here already. Hello, Kali and Ivy Star. Hello, Mary. And of course, we've got Vivi and Aaron in the background here helping out and reading everything. How are you doing today, Kayathan?
Kayathan every time. I am doing good. I feel like there's a really great energy in the air with all the Taurus energy. I think it's Venus and Uranus and the sun are all hanging out at the 29th degree. So big shifts. Feels good.
When I'm in Taurus energy, I'm like, I need an adventure. Get me out of this.
That's so interesting.
I looked it up because, I do a monthly thing with Dwight around the planets, and I looked it up, and the only Taurus I have in my chart at all is in a very certain house. And now my mind went completely blank. Anyways, but about that house, like it's only in that one house. And so that energy like makes me, it has something to do with Sagittarius. None of y'all care about
I was going to say so's in your Sagittarius sector because I can totally tell. Yeah, I have no Taurus in my chart. I have none.
But you enjoy it. It feels comfortable for you.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, so it's like my opposition. So it's fellow fixed sign, all that jazz.
There you go. Hey, Veronica. Hello, Laura. Suto. Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, let's get started here. So first, we're all just gonna try to connect together because everyone here, all of you guys, we're all in this thing together, this crazy roller coaster of life. And so we're here to receive, your personal healings and then to support and encourage everyone else as well. And you guys know I like to wake up in the morning and receive a word from my guides before I ever get out of bed. And today I went through quite a few words because some of the words that came up, I was like, don't like that. Nope, not today. But the big word, seriously. But the big word that came up was just love. It was very simple. I muscle tested it a few times to make sure. Love, love, love. I even did a quick little meditation before coming in here, and I got that same word again. So it feels like with everything going on, whether you're on the Kai end of the spectrum where everything feels good shifts and comfortable, or whether you're on the Mary end of the spectrum where everything feels fiery and you're going to explode like a rocket out the top of your head, like whatever is happening, whatever side of the spectrum that you're on right now. Hey, Gigi, when you're focusing on love, that's just that center balance that can encompass everything, no matter what's going on. Love for yourself, love for others, no matter what, because love overcomes everything. And that's where I feel like I am today, always trying to just bring love into anything that makes my heart space feel closed, makes my nervous system feel fried, makes my breath feel small, just bringing love into that open and expands all of those things. So I'd like us to start with our opening intention. So go ahead and think to yourself what you'd like to receive from this or what you'd like to feel from this experience. In this temple, I am free. I trust in what I cannot see. I dream of love and dream of peace. What I dream, I'll someday be. Amen. And Kai, is there any particular breath you want to bring us through today to get us kicked into this gear of the healing and what everybody might be ready to receive?
Yeah, we can do a really short little heart opening technique, which I think I've done a while ago, but we'll bring it back around. And essentially, it'll be as you breathe in, your hands come in and you're pushing a green, beautiful, loving energy into your heart. And then when you breathe out, you'll extend your hands out and let that energy flow out into the universe. So that way it's a reciprocal thing. We'll be breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And yeah, I'll say it one more time. When you breathe in, hands go in, breathe out, hands go out. And just imagine that heart chakra energy, that green energy coming into you, filling you up. And then when you express, so it can be kind of self-led. We'll just do a minute or two. But really feel into that heart space and that receiving and giving energy. So starting with our hands open, we'll breathe in through the nose in 3, 2, 1. And letting it out, hands go out. Breathing in, hands go in. And breathing out, hands go out. Breathing in, seeing that beautiful green energy, maybe holding at the top, coming into your space, then breathing out and watching as your love amplifies the love that you just brought in. Breathing in, holding it, feeling that love, breathing out, and watch as that love just showers the earth. Breathing in, beautiful green energy. Breathing out, connecting with one another. Breathing in that beautiful green light, pure source love. And breathing out, connecting all of the love that we have ever experienced to one another. Breathing in, holding it in, really feeling love go through your system. Breathing it out with the intention of creating a loving space here today. Breathing in. Maybe see a pink light this time for the self-love that you feel. Holding it close, holding your heart. And we'll exhale one last time. Encouraging everyone to participate in self-love.
That was beautiful. And right when you get me there is when I start seeing visions. This time, though, was a little different. I think a lot of the time with you, I see like mountains when I get there. And today I just immediately saw a scorpion. I thought it was like an alien at first. And then I saw the whole body and it was a scorpion. And then it morphed into a grasshopper. And the grasshopper went over all of you guys here in the chat.
Beautiful.
Now, I think that the scorpion kind of represents medicine, like healing medicine, because it has that ability. But then grasshopper, I wasn't sure. So I tapped in. What I got from that is music, orchestrating music. So whatever happens here today, it's like the energy's flowing. It's being orchestrated like a symphony, like music. And with those images in mind, who is first? Because whoever's first, click on and say that these images are about you.
I also think of string instruments when I think of grasshoppers and like vibration from that. Yeah. So I'm wondering if anybody plays guitar or violin or something like that, or even humming to get the vocal cords to be vibrating. Maybe that'll be significant.
I've been in tune with my vibrating today. I mean that in a very non-sexual way. Okay. Like a normal kind of vibrating way, guys.
Like this vibration plate.
No, this morning I was playing my guitar and I happened to pick a Stevie Nicks song. And then, hours later when I left for lunch, I saw my husband in passing and he said, "Hey, you look like Stevie Nicks." I said, "Hey, thanks." We're in tune with our vibrations and what's going on here. Hey, Steph. Okay, a healing. We love interesting weeks. Okay, so
It is an interesting week astrologically, so you're not wrong.
I want to know about that because I told somebody recently, I said, this week has been absolutely nuts. I don't know what's happening in the planets this week specifically, but something is going on.
Uranus moves into Gemini tomorrow, and it's been in Taurus since 2018.
I love you, Gemini, so much.
So it's going to
So,
move from more of like a physical embodiment and resources to mental and communication.
thank you, Kai. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, what's happening here?
I'm immediately seeing like a white light, and what I'm seeing is almost like, when you go to the airport and you're trying to walk a little quicker, so they have those like moving ramps, like those moving things. I can't even think of what they're called. But it's almost like you're on one of those. Like just going, like your guides are helping you go just a little bit quicker to your destination. So I'm going to work in the feet for a second.
And I'm at the neck, like that little bony part of the neck right there where it's rounded and sticks out a little bit. That's immediately where I was drawn, and it felt like there were strings of energy just making it very tight. So we just need to loosen this up. And what I'm picking up around that, normally this has to do with destiny, like maybe some of the things that you've worked towards or tried to achieve, or things that you thought you would want in your life, haven't completely lined up with exactly where you're going, but it's trying to. So everything's having to meld together and figure out how they fit together. And that's where a lot of that knottage could be coming from. So I'm unlooping that, but at the same time, I'm seeing like an open space, kind of like a field, but it looks like there's grass on one side and dirt on the other, and you're being called from the grass into the dirt. So this feels uncomfortable. It feels like less than before, but what it really is that this is where everything's going to grow from. Like you get to put those seeds in there, you get to sow it and plow it and watch it grow and water it. Like this is what you want. The grass is already planted. The grass is what somebody else wanted. And you've been enjoying it. You've been comfortable there. It's been soft there. But now we're being called to this other space. So I'm just going to unloop that for you.
And as Mary was sharing, I am kind of getting into the muscles right around your Achilles. So it feels like some kind of forward motion is meant to start happening. And I keep hearing trust and surrender. Like it feels like you might have some confusion as to like what your next steps are. So I've been putting rainbow energy kind of around your feet, for security, as well as like believing that wherever you go, there is magic. And then as I was doing that, I was greeted with a jaguar. So jaguars are very magical shamanic type creatures. So if you feel called and this is resonant, I would sit with jaguar medicine, to just see what the jaguar has to say. They can walk between worlds, so doing that would be great.
And now I'm down in the heart space. It feels like there's this little hole in the heart space, and something's coming through it, but it feels kind of like a rejection. So I don't know if you've felt rejection lately, or if this is more of a grief thing that kind of is on again, off again for you that you've been working through. But either way, it's okay. I'm hearing it's okay. It's not something you have to push away or just heal through. It's just something that's learning how to come out, something that's learning how to heal itself. So just be gentle with yourself wherever you are, and and know that that's not reflective of everyone in your life.
Yeah, and kind of compounding on what I was saying, this it's like this trust and the surrender is not necessarily knowing how you're going to get there or the steps that are going to be taken. It's just knowing that you trust yourself and you won't abandon yourself in the process, and like rooting into that.
And I feel complete with this. Thank you, Stephanie, for letting us tap in with you today. Hello, Laura 1111. You may have a general healing. Boom, boom, boom. I'm seeing 3 spots immediately: feet, low back, and like here. So it feels like heart, but it's kind of low throat at the same time.
And I feel like I'm high throat, third eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to you. And this energy just feels so familiar. I love working on it. And I'm just clearing here, but I keep seeing, while I'm clearing here, I keep seeing this temple though. So it feels like there's a lot of self-respect, a lot of, it just feels like a good heightened energy, even if some of it needs to be cleared. And that's okay. We all get density in our systems from time to time, just based on our thoughts or stuff going on around us. None of that's negative or bad.
Yeah, and this is an interesting thing, but I'm hearing like really have confidence in your softness and how much power and self-healing can come through that. And I keep seeing like very like plush, like red and pink, like pillows, and like it feels like there's this level of like treating yourself and like allowing yourself to be extremely soft, even if you maybe were ridiculed for softness at some point in the past, but knowing that that like softness has such deep medicine. And it's just, society is what it is, so we don't celebrate softness the way that we should. So yeah.
I think you hit on something big there, that it's safe to be soft.
Yeah.
It's safe to be soft. That's what I keep seeing is the opening.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
safe to be here.
And as you're saying that, I'm seeing like what's it called? When you lock things in like it has like a little thing, a lock box. Hold on. A safe, an actual safe. Like, so it's like, sorry, you said safe, and now I'm thinking of an actual safe, but it's like it's almost like there's something inside of feeling that safety to be soft. Like there's something for you to gain from that. There's a aspect of self, like I'm hearing soul retrieval. We've got such an over masculinated society that softness is shunned. Vulnerability is looked as weakness when it's really power.
I'm feeling that there's an angelic / alien light code awakening happening right now. My hands are burning hot, and I feel that energy going in, and it has something to do with authenticity, like what makes you special and sets you apart from other people. So that's just unlocking right now. I just wanted you to be aware of that, because that's happening down your spine. And then I'm going to move down to your feet while that's unlocking. So take some deep breaths, just really relax and let that happen for you.
Yeah, I'm just working in the third eye space, kind of in the mind in general. Seems like there is a little bit of either negative self-talk or lack of belief, like willing yourself to believe in things sometimes. So just kind of trying to calm that energy.
And
your worthiness.
yeah, it's hard to keep believing in something when you don't necessarily see those results for long periods of time. And I know quite
Yeah.
a few of you guys out there are going through something similar to this, where it's you have that faith, but the timing
Yeah.
is the major issue. So,
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even about the timing. It's the fact that whatever you have called in or asked to come in comes in a completely different way, and it's remaining open.
mm-hmm. And I see trees now, so I'm feeling peace, oxygen, safe to
Mm-hmm.
breathe, openness.
I was seeing trees too.
So I'm finishing up at the feet, and then I will be complete with you. Thanks so much for letting us connect with you, Laura. And tell Daisy I said hello. Hello, Mary. Yes, you may have healing energy, hips and knees with clarity of next steps. Well, I'm immediately coming up to your pineal gland, so that's where I'll be.
And I am being. Have you ever done Sufi circles? So it's where you sit down and you literally go in a circle to kind of help stretch your hips out a little bit. If that's something you're able to do, using your hips is kind of like the fulcrum for this move, just to kind of get it moving, or even tapping. This feels it's almost like there's energy that is physically stored that is going to have some of the opening to that clarity that you're looking for. We do store abandonment in our hips. So if there is any abandonment wounds that you are and abandonment can, honestly, the deepest level of abandonment I've experienced personally is self. So where have you abandoned yourself in your life? Where can you uh, meet that or be open to that?
And when I'm picking up around the pineal, I know that's not your hips. I know that's not your knees. That's just the first place I was guided to. And when I'm picking up in the pineal gland, it looked like it just needed a little bit of cleanup, nothing big, nothing horrible. It feels like there's been a lot of use with it, whether this has been through dirty work or travel or vision. There's just been a lot of use in that space, and that's good. That's healthy to use it and then kind of give it a cleanse. And as I was nearing the end of the cleanse, I saw a little baby, just a little baby. And so it feels like you're birthing something into existence right now. Maybe even have planted a seed in the timeline that's coming into growth.
Mm.
So this feels like it's in connection to the next step. So I'm moving down to your knees and your feet now, since we're talking next steps, because you've birthed something that's being created and growing into the timeline. Your next steps around that are, I hear borders and self trust. So this feels like you already know what you've put into action. You already know what's in existence. And so for next steps around that, it might just be tending the thing you put into existence, not starting something completely new. So there might be borders or boundaries that need to be placed around it. And then trusting yourself that you've done the right thing, that you've made the right choice, that everything is good, just that self-trust piece. So now I'm coming up to your knees.
Yeah, and I'm working more extensively in the right hip as well as into the right hamstring, which is also very much like, go action mode. And not to say that you need to take uh, the super decisive action, but like it's the self-trust piece that she was talking about. It's knowing and like discerning when to take action, because there are things, it's almost like I'm seeing like your field and what's ahead of you and like shooting stars coming up. So it's like you'll know when to move.
I'm in the low back now between those hips. And at first it looks like a tree, but then I realize I'm seeing a dissection of a cauliflower plant. And I think cauliflower is a cruciferous plant. And so that's why I'm seeing all of the little like branches coming off. And this feels very much in alignment with your nerves or your neurons, your nervous system. So I've been given that a good cool flush, the nervous system, especially how it runs between the muscles of those hips and up the low back.
Yeah, and I'm now seeing like a cork from like a bottle open. So there's something that's definitely shifting. I'm moving something energetically within your hip space. So just be gentle with yourself for the rest, maybe for the next few days, if anything comes up or arises emotionally.
And you're safe. The emotional rising is safe. Again, that word's coming in.
Yeah.
So just apply love to yourself. Know you're safe here while you purge, even if it feels intense. And I feel complete. Your angels are like, goodbye. Goodbye. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for letting us tap in with you. Hello, Kelly. Yes, for your highest, of course. I'm immediately coming into your spine. There's something at the low back and then your spine as well. So that's where I'm at. And I'm hearing a lot of different words. So take what resonates and think outside the box on the rest. But I'm hearing things like, what's the word? Martyr. I was hearing like mercy. I was seeing like the crucify yourself kind of thing. And then there's like that martyr energy. But this doesn't feel like your martyr energy. Like it doesn't feel like you're purposely making yourself a victim or anything like that at all. It feels like it's just a burden that you've been having to carry for a long time, or you've been unconsciously carrying, or that no matter how much you try, you just can't get rid of it. So I'm going to get rid of it for you. You mentioned Akashic. That's where I'm going, honey, sweet pea. Okay.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I was seeing almost, and not to make anyone fearful in any way, but I was seeing almost like an entity-esque that feels very much attached to what Mary was saying. So I'm clearing out your auric field and commanding that this energy is not welcome. I encourage you to do the same. And then I also am being guided to encourage you to find a energetic protection that you can place over yourself. It feels like you're very sensitive to taking on energy from other people. So cleaning out your energy, cleaning out your chakras, and coming up with protective energy with your guides. Or I'm not sure, where you're at in your journey. But envisioning, a golden bubble of protection around you every morning or when you go out into public. I think that's really, really important for you. If you're not already doing that, I would start.
I think you nailed it right there with the protections and picking up energy. When I went back in time, I saw someone who was maybe like a teenager. So this might have just been previous in this life. And it felt like I saw you sitting with another girl, and this person had, I don't want to say she had dark energy because we all have a little bit of shadow going on, but she definitely had more woundings, more grown-up responsibilities than she should have at that age. And you guys were somewhat close, at least in that moment you felt close. And then I see her leaving. She had to, for whatever reason, maybe she was moving away, and that left you alone, or alone feeling. So this person leaving left you alone. And I'm sensing insecurity there. Like maybe you only attached to that person to begin with, so you weren't alone. But then there's a lot of guilt for whatever reason. And I actually see this attachment or that burden that you've been carrying being from that simple interaction. There's probably more from past lives that has built up and built up and built up. Mm-hmm. But anything having to do with guilt, self-blame, blaming yourself for others leaving, feeling alone, feeling insecure, as if that makes you alone, like these are all things to heal through. Okay, because you have a lot of worth, you have a very big light, you have a very big capacity to expand. So having that stable foundation will be important for you moving forward. And I'm going to go back a little further and see if there's anything else that can be cleared from this, like, you know, past life kind of stuff.
So I saw Egypt, as Mary was talking, as well as I keep seeing opalite. So I feel like there are some Lemurian ties that you have, and crystals if you are not familiar with them, or if you don't collect them, that would definitely be something to look into. I am in the middle of moving my stuff, and I packed up all my crystals, and I miss them, and I feel like you will be of the same like breadth potentially. So, and if you do have crystals, go cleanse them. That feels important. In a natural body of water, that feels very specific, as opposed to you can cleanse crystals in a multitude of ways, but specifically right now it's in a natural body of water. So if you go get them, do the same thing. But yeah, opalite is what's coming through specifically for you. And yeah, I agree with you. Have a very big light, but there's just, you know, like everyone, you got to sift through some things before it can shine at its brightest.
And so now, after visiting the Akashic, there is a contract, a subconscious contract or soul contract that I'd like to break for you. I'm going to say it, but keep in mind that it only actually breaks if you agree on your end. So I'm going to command the universe to pull, cancel, delete, resolve, and send to the light on all levels the belief system, I am alone. If you agree on your end, just say yes, and then let that be pulled. And then I'm going to command the universe to instill and encode in all cells on all levels the belief system, I am free. If you agree, say yes, and that will be encoded.
And speaking of codes, I am stamping light language, and specifically the Shri Yantra, onto your spine right now, which is the symbol of balance and abundance.
Beautiful. I see all of your little itty bitty cells being restored here. So moving forward, I want you to really use that affirmation a lot. I am free, I am free, I am free, knowing that it's restoring and replenishing you as you say it. And work with your inner child to let her play. I hear play as part of your freedom, but very specifically the inner child. And I feel complete with this one.
I was told I was done. They were like, you're done. I was like, okay. I love direct communication. Thank you so much.
Let me connect with you.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on my time.
Veronica. Yes. What's wrong with your left leg, boo? Tell me stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm tracing all the way back up to the top of the hip, and then I'm going to push that energy down and out.
I'm being drawn to your stomach, and I'm seeing strawberries. I don't know.
Well, you seeing strawberries, that reminds me, and I don't know how it applies, but I was watching a show last night. It was like a little cartoon show, and it was like a man and his partner, and the woman grabs a strawberry and she's eating it, and she loves the strawberry so much, and it's such good strawberry, and it's the best thing in the whole world, she says. And he's trying to propose, but she doesn't know that. And he's like, that's the best thing in the world? And she's like, yep. Yeah, that's the best thing in the world. And so that's just what that reminded me of. It's almost like choosing yourself, your pleasure, um, what is making you healthy and nourished and nurtured in the present moment versus what other people want from you, need from you, or are trying to get you to commit to. That's kind of what came up to me from Kai seeing strawberries. Don't know if it helps.
I went on a very interesting journey because then I saw strawberry shortcake, and then I saw Candyland, and then I saw Shoots and Ladders. So it feels like inner child witnessing needs to be taking place, or maybe like go play a board game. Like there's something about nostalgia here. Like I'm seeing the Six of Cups in my mind's eye. So it's like this like level of going and and not even going, it's inviting, and sit down for 5 minutes, take some nice deep breaths, and invite in whatever inner child wants to show themselves. And then yeah, maybe go down memory lane, grab a board game, go, or if you don't have someone to play with, grab an app on your phone that'll be nostalgic. They've got that stuff now. So that feels really important. And the word gentleness is coming up as well. Play and gentleness.
I see a can of tomato soup and I heard the words "get the stank off." So that just immediately reminded, like, because tomatoes, that's what you bathe in supposedly when you get sprayed by a skunk. I'm not saying you're stinky, V, by any means. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes, like, if somebody else has put their stank on us, their dank on us, their dark on us, their heaviness on us, we can just scrub that off. And that's what we're doing right now with that tomato sauce energy, okay?
Well, and I also think that you seeing tomato sauce, I'm seeing strawberries now, and she's got things going on with her legs, like going and sitting on the earth and grounding with your root chakra very intentionally and giving some of this quote unquote stank, and or also asking for those negative ions to help with some of the energy with actually, if you have any copper, if you notice, I've always got copper. Putting like a copper anklet or some copper, wrapping it around your left ankle and putting that on the ground, like as you are sat there, I think that would, I literally saw a video today saying that was like people used to carry canes, copper canes, so that they would connect because we're electrical beings. The earth is electrical. So it connects us, it grounds us. So that feels, maybe even get a copper cane. I don't know. This is all just coming up really fast and rapid for me right now.
And I've been doing a very delicate surgery while Kaya has been talking. We've unwrapped something from around one of your lower vertebrae between those hips. So I don't know if that's been contributing to the pain at all. I know you mentioned a surgery years ago, but it did feel like there was like an energy wrapped around one of your vertebrae. So we removed that, and then I saw a piece coming in that was being implanted right at that space from some alien energy or one of your guides there. So that feels like it's supercharging that space and raising and elevating vibrations. So let that work through your body really well, okay?
Yeah, and I'll be wrapping up after this, but what I'm just flooding your like upper bot, like from your hips up with golden light. Flushing it is the word. So I don't know, maybe there's just something that needs to be flushed energetically and or mentally as well. But yeah, the abdomen region is still really like sticking out to me. So I don't know if there's something maybe you need to shift in your diet as well. But yeah, once I finish here, I'll be wrapped up.
And I'm cleaning out the crown center. It just feels like a little residual stuff there as well. But this feels like something that's been purged upwards. So maybe recently you've had some healing work done, and it feels like a lot of this emotion has flushed upwards, but then just kind of, like when there's stains from something overflowing, that's kind of what that feels like. blue light all the way through, all the way to the chromosomal DNA level. And I feel good on my end. Thanks for letting us.
Energy.
Yeah. Thanks, Veronica. Who's our next victim? Penelope, you're the perfect victim for me today.
Victim. What's this weekend?
That's what I was wondering. But we'll definitely check into those bones and joints. I'm connecting in now.
I have a dog. Does she have a dog?
She does, little Teddy.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm seeing a dog like dancing around her.
Teddy is a little empath.
Okay.
But I immediately like saw purple and blue like energy shields around you. So you actually have a lot of protections up right now, metaphysically, because that was the first thing I encountered when I tried to tap in. So I'm going to see if I can get through your little shields. Just let me in. Thank you.
Penelope, have you ever done acupuncture? Would you be open to it? I feel like that would be really beneficial for you. I actually just did it for the first time this week myself, and it was a very profound experience, as well as it really localized some issues I've been having, and I actually got a package. So if that's something that you're open to, it doesn't hurt. And it was profound and on an emotional and a physical level. So that just is coming through like pretty immediately.
I feel like if I'm thinking correctly, she has done acupuncture, maybe not for this specific issue though.
Yeah. Or just like a revisit to it.
What I'm doing right now is there's a lot of buildup that I'm seeing between your protection shields and your actual personal energy. And so I'm in that in between space clearing that. But what that tells me is that the energy you're experiencing isn't all coming from the outside, it's somehow spawning on the inside. So maybe this is that the energy that you're seeing or experiencing, you're allowing it to become personal because it connects to some memories from your past or from your childhood. And that's how energy can affect us from the outside without actually touching us, but just spawning on the inside. So when you see those things, try not to allow it to become personal or part of your identity or part of your past. Just let it be what's happening out there, not something that's already happened in here, because then it happens in here again. So I'm clearing that out so I can get to the spots you're wanting me to look at, wanting us to look at.
And I'm in like your neck and shoulder region, and I'm just hearing the word worry over and over and over again. Like worry about, it seems like you're taking a lot on. And maybe that's part of what Mary was talking about, is you're also kind of creating it too, because worry is basically creating something in your mind and then deciding to like hold on to it. So but yeah. Oh, beautiful. I was gonna say acupuncture feels, yeah, maybe have them go into the back area one session if that feels resonant for you. But yeah, it feels like there's this level of like, hold yourself a little accountable. If you find yourself starting to worry, like bring it back, because the more you do something, the more you call it into your life.
Beautiful. And I was down at the low back, cleaning out a big triangle of energy, a block of energy there, and pulling that out. So that's beautiful now. And And I think I only remember this because Miss P actually texted me after our last healing temple and asked, because I think last time you saw like a crack in her spine or the energy of the spine
Yeah,
or something
right.
last time, because she did text me about it, I think, and ask. And I don't see that anymore. I can see a shadow of where it might have been,
Yeah.
but the energy itself looks a lot better. We just had that buildup on it, which could have been adding a lot of pressure. Are you still working at the neck?
Yeah, there's just it seems like there's a lot of
I'm
there's just a
joining
lot
you.
of energy. Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of energy there.
Yeah, I cleared like the whole back and the hips, and then I'm immediately drawn up to the neck. So there's still some stuff there.
Yeah, and my understanding from a session that I did last week is that we carry a lot of our fear in our neck as well. Um, and which makes sense because I was saying worry and fear I feel go pretty hand in hand. So just like, trying to release that as much as you can, and not saying that you're not valid in having fears and having worries, but really sometimes it is about just holding yourself accountable and not letting yourself go to that place as deeply every time, if that makes sense.
What I'm seeing release from the neck right now is I saw the shadow of a man. And to me, this feels like maybe there have been fears or memories of fears from past men, not just one man, because this felt like many fearful men or men to be feared. Um, and so basically, we're rebuking them. We're casting them out. We're saying, you can't be here. And we're shutting them out and placing those protections. Nobody has power over your energy. No one has the right. Who are they? Zero zip, nobody, nothings when it comes to your energy. Nobody has access to your energy, even through memory, whether they're dead, whether they're living. It is what it is. This is your energy, your autonomy, your self power. Nobody else has the right to take up space in your mind and your feelings and your energy. Okay. So push all of that out. Step into your power. That's important. Okay. Be powerful and take up your own space. Don't let other people take up your space.
I'm just like basically showering you with like golden, like pixie fairy dust is what they're having me do right now. So I don't know if you connect with fairies or if that feels resonant to you, but that's the energy that I am in right now. And you're so supported. That came through very strong. Like you're so supported. More than you realize.
So when you were picking up about how supported she is, I was seeing like King Kong. And Miss P, King Kong is my man. Like he can beat up Godzilla any day of the week. Any day of the week. So if you really want that support energy or you feel like something's getting on top of you, call on the archetype of King Kong. Like he will come in and legit like beat some dudes up for you. Okay? For real. Thanks for letting us connect in with you, Miss P. Hey, Millicent. Hey, Lotus of Serendipity. Hey, Rossi. Shadusia. Hello. And that's the one we just did with Miss P. Oh, hey, Gigi. Your lungs, bones, and inflammation. Mm-hmm.
Immediately thinking of turmeric. If you're not taking turmeric, that'll help a lot with inflammation.
I'm seeing a lot. I immediately kind of went to the bones around your chest, but then immediately dropped down to the bladder. And I feel like maybe there's inflammation in that low belly space. So that's what I'm working with right now. And this feels like friction. Like it's not like an angry feeling, but it's kind of like this is what I see as an injustice. This is what I see as not right. This is what I see that's bothering me, but it is what it is. And so that's causing friction because we're not completely pissed off, but yet we're not completely at peace. And it feels like it's building up like an oyster creates a pearl kind of thing. So we're going to kind of flush this through.
And as you were saying, it's funny you dropped down to the bladder because right after I said turmeric, I was drawn to your sacral chakra, which is where we store a lot of guilt. So I feel like that might have something to do with that friction. So if you are open to it, Gigi, if you wouldn't mind just taking a nice deep breath in through the nose right here. And just hold it at the top for a few seconds. I'm just getting some of the energy out. Yeah, I feel like there's some ancestral energy in your sacral chakra that needs to be released. You can breathe out right here. Beautiful. And then if you want to do one more breath in. Holding it. Or if you let go and you can get back into it, that's great too. And breathing it out right here. Yeah, it feels like there's an ancestral level of epigenetic guilt that you are carrying along with some that you've developed in this lifetime. So I got a little bit of it out. There's definitely more work to be done, but I'm now being drawn up. So that's what we're releasing from there for today.
What I was doing was it looked like there were two legs coming out of the spine, which technically there are, and one side felt like something had started shedding, like a peeled banana or like a snake sheds its skin. And so I finished the shedding on one side and then brought that over to the other side. And as soon as all of that old stuff was off, the two legs immediately went into four. And so from the two legs where I was pulling that off, and there was fear around that because it was like an instability. It was who's going to take care of me? How am I going to live? How am I going to be? And when I pulled that off, it went into the four legs and I heard, I am stable. So let that be your mantra for a little while. I am stable, and see what kind of health, abundance, love, and support shows up for you as you start using that mantra. I am stable.
Yeah, and I'm so your bones are when you saying stability, that's root chakra, and your bones are also correlated to your root chakra. I am seeing some like dense buildup on your bones, specifically in your arms, that I'm getting rid of right now. But what keeps coming to me is a 9-tailed fox. I think they're called kitsune. So maybe if you want to go down a little rabbit hole and want to just do some research and see what that's about. Like it's a deity in Japanese culture. It continues to bombard me, and it feels like there's a playfulness, but also like a deep wisdom that is attached to maybe you as a person. Or just, this is an archetype that resonates with you, if you're familiar.
So I was only half listening because I was doing my own thing, but like certain words really stuck out to me when you said deity, because what I was seeing when I came to your lungs, Gigi, was it looked like there was fluid on the lungs. Like it was surrounded by fluid. It felt like there was a lot of pressure there, like you were drowning, right? So I start draining this and pulling all of this out, and then I see this deity pulling it out. And I realize that we're now in a past life. And in this past life, you've drowned. And it feels like part of this energy has been tapped into before and might have started to be removed or been partially removed, or maybe a negative contract around this was removed, but the energy itself was still there. Or something that our soul was still resonating with about this. So we just removed that. And I feel like we need to anchor that there. So just let yourself breathe as big and as deep and expansive into those side lungs as you can. Good. That's stabilized. I heard it is done. And I also sell bee energy. Bzzz. That's your abundance and your honey sweet thing. So be open to that coming in.
All right. I just cleared off your legs as well on your bones. So, and with that, I feel good. But also bees are workers. So there might be a little bit of like worker energy that intention and action, right? We have to have the intention, but also the action to follow it. So
I like that.
I didn't hear anything else that you said. I just heard that.
Right. Like we're picking up little things the other person is saying, like applying to the thing that we're doing. But thanks for letting us tap in with you, Gigi. I think we have time for one more. Mm-hmm. Hi, White Travel there. How are you, darling?
Shurusya? You said.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I just love what White Travel there says. I feel better already just joining the video.
Welcome. Welcome to the temple where the vibes rule, right?
Yeah.
Justice and responsibility. Okay. I'm immediately drawn to the heart space. So that's where I'm going to drop in for you. And I'm going to start pulling out a lot of these little belief systems that I am seeing here, because I'm seeing lots of things like that's not fair, and just like lots of little vibrations there getting to the center core of that heart space. So I'm just going to start pulling these out.
I'm not sure the meaning, but I'm not super familiar with birds, but I'm hearing condor. So maybe look up what condors represent, because that is what's coming through as I get into your energy. And I'm actually being drawn to your hips. And just seeing a little bit of density there.
I have a question. Are you some sort of practitioner, or have you done shamanic work before? Because Kai mentions the condor, which represents the heart space, which is destiny, especially in certain cultures. But at the same time as that, I was picking up like other little belief systems, like, well, that's the pot calling the kettle black, and that brought me into shadow work. So now we're looking at the east and the west of the medicine wheel, finding our personal power, healing through our shadows, while at the same time trying to take on destiny and be the healer. So I'm just curious if you work in those realms, and I'm going to keep clearing and see what we can practically do today.
Yeah, and it's almost like I'm taking spikes out, like spines, that's the word, from like cacti or porcupines out of the hip area. So it definitely feels like there is a level of like energetic attack to that area. So maybe even putting some extra protections around that space. Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense why the West is there at the same time as the East, because you're in the space where you could be starting your sessions, living your destiny, but you're fighting for survival. There's like still the duality, and the things that need to be healed and pulled through.
I'm hearing command, like you have an authority about you that you need to reclaim, like commanding the fact that these people in the torment and everything that you're describing is like, this is, I'm going to kind of overgeneralize and maybe simplify this almost to a point. It's not to invalidate you, but like truly just start commanding any energies that are not for your highest good, that are not of the highest light, that do not belong to you. They do not get to be in your field. One of the things I do almost daily is I take selenite and I clear my energy and then I protect it. So that way, the only things that you are dealing with are yours to deal with. And I feel like I'm coming across very authoritatively, but I think it's on purpose. I think it's meant to be where you're supposed to be at. So yeah, there's a big fire, like power in you. And all of these external energies are trying to keep that from coming to fruition in this lifetime. And I heard not this time. I just heard not this time. So this is like big reclamation energy, big authority. Yeah, having that inner authority over your own life.
Reclamation, that's where I'm coming off of now because we're bouncing again. I'm hearing the words I am safe, letting that be a mantra. I am safe. That's been a repeating pattern for people today. I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. Well, at the same time, I see the pumpkin growing. And while the pumpkin's growing, the vision hones in on the stem that's been broken from the vine. And what I heard in the reclamation was, you don't need that anymore. The vine itself, from the pumpkin, that represents where you get nurtured from, where you receive from. And when things happen to us or we are not given to appropriately or taken from, there is that thing inside that wants that ownership, that wants that, even if we don't consciously, subconsciously, we're longing for that love, for that acceptance, for that nurturing. And this vision that I see of the pumpkin with the broken stem says, you're full grown, you're powerful, you're big, you don't need that from them anymore. Now it's the self-containment and the self-fulfillment. I am safe. Sit with that in your mind for just a second. Repeat that to yourself in your mind 3 to 5 times, just for a second.
And I have a lot of energy coming through, and there's something about your throat, okay? Using your voice, using it as a tool, even just making sound, ta 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 ta, e e e e e e e, helps move energy. They're all connected to different organs, different sounds. So just allowing yourself to, honestly, be feral. Like go and just make as loud or as prolific or as many noises, sounds, hums, song, really using your voice. And I do have a light language transmission coming through. And Ia satale empoyere e na yawa e kenia asati. Ia rareni. Ia nanawa e ae ele india awakasa. Tenaya te ayiliane.
The way is made, the way is made, the way is made. And as soon as that light language came through, I was seeing snake energy before that because I hear you, you're in survival. Whatever it is that's going on, you feel like it's still going on or parts of it are still going on. And so I'm working with that snake energy because the snake is going to move into the future to make a way for you to completely shift, to completely get out of this, to do something new, to be somewhere new. And as soon as the light language started, the path was opened and made clear, and the snake was able to go through and anchor into a different future for you. So take heart. Things are strong. I mean, things are hard. You're strong. Things are hard. You're strong. And the snake is bringing you into a different future, and you will be moving forward out of this. Okay.
And I see that you do selenite and hape, tuning fork, sending energy back, and that's all beautiful. So, but it's like you can do all the things, but if you aren't believing the things and trusting the things, then, it doesn't have as much effect.
You'll be taking on a different destiny soon. Thanks so much for letting us connect in with your energy. Hey, everybody. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for holding space with everyone else, for witnessing the healing that's been going on, for receiving and claiming your own healing. Thanks so much, Kai, for being with us. Thank you, me, for showing up today. I'm here. Every little win, right? Every little win. And thank you, Erin and Viviani, for being in the background, helping to keep things going and keep things alive and moving. So you guys go drink lots of water, disconnect from this energy, ground in, and just have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day and weekend.
Thank you guys so much for trusting us with your energy.
Thank you. Bye.